Here we go on the streets of Long Beach.
And they are off right now. Bill Hines out in front at that live truck. Live, the multi-platinum recording artist, sponsoring 3 trucks in the field. Bill Hines is one of those 3, and he is out to an early lead.
Hines over Harlan as they haul it down shoreline. Now the first turn here is a hard left, a 90-degree left. You've got to whoa these trucks out to what, 140 or so miles an hour?
About 140 miles an hour, Rick, on this long straight going in here now. It's a pretty tight turn. First lap, not so bad. The brakes are going to start fading away on these trucks as you get later on in the race. You'll see these drivers, if we go to any end caps, they'll be pumping the brake going into that turn, but they're still going to be flat on the skinny pedal.
They've been racing here on this circuit for more than 40 seasons. What an epic event on the West Coast. Huge opportunity for the Stadium Super Trucks to thrill the fans and put on a great show here on Sunday of Long Beach Grand Prix weekend. Hines and Harlan side by side, and Harlan gets by to take the lead.
Harlan takes it around the outside. Can he make it sick? He does. Hines was smart about it. He backed off a little bit there, said, hey, too early to race. Let's not get in a crash. But you see Harlan right now already moving out.
This is out of the turn 6-7 complex. This is what we're talking about, a downhill jump.
And it's a fast downhill, and they're going into that jump in a torque wheelie. You see the front tire up in the air, and then they're hitting that ramp like that. It's a wild section.
This is the backstretch at the Long Beach Grand Prix circuit. This is where you really gain some speed as well.
2 sections on this track, the front and the back. These trucks are 140, just pinned out. You see them dive into 9 here, but then they got a ramp they're hitting sideways. Look at Travis Harlan jumping sideways into that turn. It's really the only fast way around this section.
Harlan has taken the lead. Kyle LeDuc has moved up a couple of spots as well. Here's Vizo on the inside in that white truck, trying to elbow his way by Burt Jenner.
It almost looked like Vizo got on the brakes a little sooner than expected there. And there you go. Jenner got right into him as we're on board here with Sheldon Creed. Really cool shot.
Those first 2 jumps coming off the final turn. Our Replay XD onboard cameras working to perfection today. Harlan, LeDuc, Vizo, Hines, and Jenner, your top 5 as we open up lap number 2.
Right now, making it look easy. Harlan out in front, feeling very comfortable. But meanwhile, you see him all packed up back here as Bill Hines gets a little sideways, almost gets to the tires.
You've got to make that hard left turn on trucks that are not built to do that at the highest speed portion of this racetrack on the streets of Long Beach. Here's another look from one of the onboard views of what happened in the final corner.
There's going in the last turn right there. Looked like Vizo got on the brakes a little sooner than expected. Burt Jenner piled right into him. As I've said in past broadcasts, no love lost in between Vizo and Jenner as the 2 of them swap paint early on in the race.
Kincaid, Robbie Gordon, Scotty Steele all trying to work their way up from the back of the pack among the quicker qualifiers here this weekend. Dale Dondell there in the 17 giving way as they go 3 wide to the jump.
Now, Dondell, this is something new for him. He is a desert champion. I mean, Dondell is a bad man out in the desert in the trophy truck. But to be here on the asphalt, on the street circuit, it's something brand new to him. But if you look at his lap times for practice and qualifying, he's a contender. He can run in the pack.
Awesome to see him out here doing battle in the Stadium Super Trucks on the pavement on the road course in Long Beach with the jumps mixed in as well. Running order top of your screen as always as we bring you coverage of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. Round number 6 on the season. We'll come right back to the streets of Long Beach. Back in Long Beach, California, the streets of Long Beach, the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. Alongside Sean Cerveny, I'm Rick Benjamin. Tom Lewis has our coverage on pit road. On the gas hard, working lap number 3 here today. As Burt Jenner, with some damage to that truck, trying to work his way closer to the front. Gavin Harlan still with a substantial lead.
Right now we're on board with Sheldon Creed. You see him, as we mentioned before, 140 miles an hour. That's the easy part. It's the braking, especially as the race goes on, the fluid gets hot. These guys are going to start pumping the brakes going in these turns. You see Robbie Gordon dives to the inside.
Keegan Kincaid, the veteran, young veteran, spins there but catches it.
Not something you see a lot out of Keegan Kincaid. I think Robbie, put a little pressure on him there, made him run it in a little bit farther than he wanted to. But Kincaid usually really keeps it under wraps. As you see, a great battle right now in between LeDuc, Vizo, and Creed. They are battling for the second position, Rick.
Coming down the back straightaway. Remember, LeDuc had a problem in practice on Saturday. Got behind a little on his steering, got into the wall. Goes sideways here as Creed dives inside.
Dives to the inside of LeDuc, but freewheeling, going at that Toyo Tires ramp, Rick, and then fast down that hill. What an exciting section of the track that is.
One of the most compelling and challenging parts of this racetrack to jump as you're going downhill. Of course, turn 11, the famous hairpin, would be one of the other difficult spots for these trucks because you've really got to slow down radically to be able to make that right-hand turn onto the front stretch. Great battle here, Vizo, Creed. You've got LeDuc right behind and Burt Jenner.
Look at Jenner's hood all push up. That was from lap 1. Before they even completed the lap there on the last and final turn of lap 1, Burt got into the back of Vizo a little bit. Now he's got to go down those long straights with his hood in his face.
Gets into LeDuc, turns LeDuc sideways a little. This is the turn 11 hairpin that's so difficult in any kind of race car. They navigate it with a little bit of body slamming going on. Harlan continuing to lead.
Now you see all the trucks getting a little sideways on this front stretch. They come out of that turn, they go over that Toyo Tires ramp. They land, they're a little out of whack, but you can't back out of the gas. You got to stay on that skinny pedal on the right as they go off the tracks. This jump really sends every one of these trucks for a bit of a loop. It's a wild ride in that cab.
Sheldon Creed trying to make the crossover move on EJ Vizo here as they come to turn 1. Vizo able to hold the advantage and drop to the inside and stay in front of Creed. Meantime, Jenner pushes it too hard and catches the wall and some banner.
I'd have to think, Rick, there's got to be a little bit of damage to that truck. He got in the wall pretty hard. That was a fast section to be coming around and touching the wall that way.
Now, replay, this kind of began before we got to this point. There's Vizo, Creed, and LeDuc here with Jenner going down into turn 1.
And then LeDuc and Jenner really going at it back and forth. And you see him going into the wall. Yeah, that was a pretty tough hit there.
Winner of the round 5 event at St. Petersburg back in March, and Jenner's got that banner kind of wrapped around. It wrapped briefly around the left rear wheel. Gordon, meantime, trying to shoulder his way by LeDuc.
Now, I would have to think right now that Burt Jenner's saying, we know we got a mandatory competition caution right around the corner. If I can just nurse the truck to that point, maybe pull over quick, get a course worker, anyone, tell me pull this banner out, that could affect braking or anything.
Now, he did kind of side slap the soft wall and then the concrete. These are very tough race trucks that have been put together by the Stadium Super Trucks team. Any chance there's damage on that truck?
I think that there very well could be. It's hard to say right now what's going on with the truck. He did fall off the pace a little bit right now, but like I said, maybe he's waiting for that comp caution to come right around the corner here. Well, he could kind of regroup, get that banner ripped out, or maybe he did cause some damage. He did slap that concrete wall pretty hard.
On board with Burt Jenner, the winner at St. Petersburg in the Sunday event. It does look like he's got a problem. He's off the gas. Jenner pulling onto pit road, slowing down here. What a shame for the veteran driver, doing a great job in the early season. Talking to one of the crew members. Looks like he's afraid he's got some sort of significant problem. He's pulled into pit road, getting ready to shut it off. Meantime, the action continues as we come close to halfway in the competition yellow. Gavin Harlan there in the 55, still your leader. Vizo and Creed have caught him.
Well, I've been wondering the whole time what Vizo and Creed are thinking. Not only are they having to deal with battling each other, but they're seeing the young man Harlan out in front the whole time. First time back in Stadium Super Trucks this weekend here in Long Beach for Harlan, and he's been out in front of these guys the whole entire race and running extremely well.
Just gives up the lead, though, to EJ Vizo. Sheldon Creed knocking on the door as well. They do a little contact dance as they head to the jump coming off turn 6 and 7. Creed almost loses it there. Harlan right back trying to hold on to the lead over Vizo, but Vizo gets by.
Yeah, Harlan's a young kid. He's absolutely fearless, and I don't believe he's going to let a veteran like Vizo just walk away on him right now. He's going to work him over as best he can to get that lead back.
Harlan tries to dive to the inside. Vizo, though, starts his slide a little early, and obviously these drivers realize you've got to kick the back end out before you get to the corner. Kind of a dirt driving technique here.
Absolutely it is, and that's where Harlan comes from. You know, he is a dirt background, as is Creed. Vizo, he's the one that comes from 6 full years of racing IndyCar, testing Formula One. So the street course is kind of his thing, but this is 2 styles of driving mixed together as one. As you see them, 1, 2, and 3, Vizo, Harlan, and Creed going down those jumps. All those trucks a little bit banged up right now. Harlan, his truck was beautiful a lap ago.
All right, competition yellow falls as we begin lap number 6 of 10 today here on the streets of Long Beach. Sheldon Creed waving to the fans and maybe a fellow competitor as well. Now the trucks will bunch back up for a restart next time around.
That's right, Rick. They'll go into their mandatory competition caution, which you'll see at every feature event at SST Racing, which means midway through the race, full course yellow, pack it up, go racing again.
Vizo will be our restart leader. Meantime, Burt Jenner, who won the Sunday event at St. Petersburg in March, done for the day. He's with Todd.
Bert, I can see the disappointment on your face. Give me what happened from your seat, what it looked like out there.
Hats off to Leduc. He, first time, or I shouldn't say first time in a long time he's been in the truck this weekend. But he picked up a lot of speed there at the end. I was just trying to keep up with Creed and Vizo, who are starting to kind of get away from us. And tried for a little bit of a dive bomb, a little too aggressive. Couldn't get it stopped in time, put it in the wall. So broke a suspension part, figured pull it off before I wrecked the truck worse than it already is, and come back and get them next time.
Broken suspension parts, not something you can run these trucks with, as tough as they are. Fans loving it. The Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. We're on the streets of Long Beach. Right back with the restart in just a moment. Back on the streets of Long Beach, Rick Benjamin along with Sean Sermony, Todd Lewis on pit road, ready for the restart after the competition yellow. Final 4 laps of action as round 6 of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas unfolds today in front of a packed house of fans. Eric Davis toward the back of the field behind the 3 of Charles Dorrance. Bill Hines in the 57. They're going to try to move up in these last few laps, but it's Vizo who leads him over the first 2 jumps, under the bridge, and to the green flag.
Well, that's the competition caution to come out of right now, which means it is a drag race to the finish line. It's a drag race to the checkered flag. We've seen young Gavin Harlan lead the majority of this race. Now he got some of these guys that have been in the trucks a little bit longer, Creed, Vizo, and they're pushing them around a little bit. Harlan's truck's a little banged up right now. It's going to be a long ride to the checkered flag.
Harlan, though, with the inside move coming into turn 1 to get up alongside Vizo and retakes the lead.
You see, adding to this mess now is Robbie Gordon, that bright orange number 7 Speed Energy truck, moved up into P4. Robbie oftentimes towards the end of the race has the best seat in the house, seeing some of these young drivers just unleash everything they've got on each other, and he scoots his way up onto the podium. I think Robbie's trying to stick with that plan right now, Rick.
Vizo and Harlan side by side down the short straightaway from the top spot here as the laps start to wind down. Creed is 3rd, Gordon is 4th. Vizo with the outside move retakes the point.
I got to think, Rick, that Vizo and Creed are impressed, but certainly not pleasantly surprised by how fast Harlan is. He certainly has put quite a battle in here and has an opportunity to win this race yet. It's not over.
Leaders steaming down the backstretch here on the streets of Long Beach. Awesome racetrack, great facility, lots of history in the Stadium Super Trucks marking their 2nd anniversary with this event this weekend. Scotty Steele running to the inside of Leduc here.
Scotty Steele leaning on Leduc a little bit there. Scotty has had several podiums in Stadium Super Truck Racing. Leduc has not, but he has picked up the pace for the last 2 days of practice and qualifying, and Leduc is really starting to move out in that 99 Toyota tire truck.
Meantime, Sheldon Creed is on the move up alongside. Oh, he loses it, has to skip the ramp. What does that mean, Sean?
Well, he had to skip the ramp, so he couldn't gain any ground on anyone. So you saw him moved over, backed out of the pit gas a little bit, let Harlan get back up where he was. Otherwise, if he didn't, he would end up getting a stop and go penalty next lap around.
Robbie Gordon on the charge now on the front straightaway, watching the 2nd and 3rd place trucks. Vizo taking the opportunity, watching that battle in his rearview mirror to drive off to a nice advantage here.
Well, couple great battles. Obviously, this battle for the lead is great, but look at these guys right here. This is a battle for 5th place right now. That is Steele, Leduc, and Kincaid. Keegan Kincaid can undoubtedly be on top of the podium at any given time. And right now, he's pushing hard with 3 to go.
4th, 5th, and 6th in play here on the streets of Long Beach. Next up for the Stadium Super Trucks, we'll be on the streets of Belle Isle, Detroit. The Detroit Grand Prix, a full weekend of action, 3 events there. We'll have the coverage for you coming up in a couple of weeks here on the NBC Sports Network. Gavin Harlan has turned in a great run today, back in 2nd spot. Let's get on board with Robbie Gordon in the 7 truck, the defending series champion, sitting in 4th. He can see the top 3. They may be sitting ducks for Gordon.
Oh, they absolutely could. You know, he likes to pick them off a little at a time. If you see the trucks up in front of him, they're pretty banged up. Everyone's hood smashed up and all stuff. Not a scratch on that bright orange Speed Energy truck of Robbie Gordon. So, you know, he'll methodically make his way through the pack if he can.
Keegan Kincaid, Kyle Leduc fighting it out for position as well. This is for 6th and 7th. Leduc in the blue Toyo Tires truck, the Traxxas truck of Kincaid after each other. Let's get on board. Oh, Kyle Leduc with a little problem there.
See, Leduc gets it around. He goes all the way around, keeps it up on the rev limiter. smoking those Toyo tires right off. Getting some heat in the tires, Rick.
I'll tell you what, I'm amazed at how durable these Toyo tires are on the Stadium Super Trucks. You can abuse the heck out of them. They seem to perform just as well. One more look at the 47 of Kincaid. There's Leduc going around. He just gasses it and straightens it right back up.
Yep, stays right on the gas. We see one more replay of him. There's Leduc, gets it around. You hear that thing up on the pipe, up on the rev limiter. Meanwhile, we go back to Gavin Harlan and Creed. Both of them in a full-on torque wheelie there. You see them three-wheeling's a good feeling for both of those competitors.
Creed getting by Harlan there. That was almost a full bicycle by Harlan.
It certainly was. Both hoods smashed up. Meanwhile, if I'm Gavin Harlan, I'm saying don't look in the rearview mirror. I don't want to know who's back there. You see Robbie Gordon back there in that bright orange Speed Energy Toyo Tire Traxxas truck. It would make me nervous.
Sure, absolutely. Creed, Harlan, Gordon, and Steele battling for position behind the race leader. E.J. Vizo's out in front at the moment. These drivers, though, want to have something to say about it as we work 2 laps to go here on the streets of Long Beach.
Just big air from Creed every single time. Creed, the young man, he's also one of those guys that's just absolutely fearless, whether he's on his dirt bike or in his race truck or whatever he's doing, and he just sends it, flat-foots it up every one of these jumps.
Running order, top of your screen as always here on our coverage of the Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas on the NBC Sports Network. Again, Creed and Harlan, Gordon and Steele, second, third, fourth, and fifth in play behind the leader, Vizo. Harlan gets tapped and goes sideways off the corner.
And right, Robbie Gordon gives Harlan a small love tap, says, hey, man, I'm right here, so you better look out. You see
Harlan
a little
comes
contact.
slamming in there, though, and makes contact with Creed's machine and goes around in turn 11. Big skirmish. Steele got in it.
I'd have to say, Rick, Harlan probably looked in his rear view when he got that love tap and said, oh, no.
Here's another look at it. Harlan drove in a little too deep there and has to spin it. Gordon gets by. Steele does not. The field seeing the white flag. Final lap. One more look at the turn 11 skirmish here.
And then with Harlan going around like that, that gives an opportunity for Vizo and Creed to pull out front, get a little bit of comfort there.
Robbie Gordon settling into third in front of Steele. Before the weekend began, I had a chance to sit down with Robbie Gordon and talk to him about the spectacle that is Stadium Super Truck racing.
You know, a lot of people are just in awe of what the trucks will do. And the racing is gnarly because the wheel-to-wheel battle you can do with these trucks, any other form of proper motorsport race vehicle will be sitting on the hook. You know, one little bounce and they're done. And you'll see slide jobs, you'll see piggyback rides, you'll see all kinds of cool stuff happen this weekend.
Sean Cermini, I get to cover a lot of different forms of motorsport. This is about the most exciting thing I have ever seen. We're having so much fun with this. E.J. Vizo with a big lead on the white flag lap here over Creed and Gordon.
Great battle going on just a moment ago, but Gavin Harlan, our early leader, spun out a little bit. Now it allowed our top three to kind of spread out, take a little bit of breath. It'd be nice and mellow, try to bring it home to the checkered flag. But meanwhile, Scotty Steele, we've seen him on the podium before. He's going to apply some pressure to Robbie Gordon right now, try to get that P3 spot.
A nice drive for Scotty Steele, who had problems in St. Petersburg, as well as down under in Adelaide when the season began. Vizo all by himself. Second spot is Creed. Gordon slides it a little bit. His truck pretty straight in terms of bodywork. Last couple of corners here on the streets of Long Beach.
You see him coming down into that Toyo Tire and Traxxas double jump right there. The checkered flag is about to come out for E.J. Vizo, his second win of 2015. So congratulations to Mr. Vizo.
Caracas, Venezuela veteran who's raced here in IndyCars. Among other things, his 5th career win in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. Gavin Harlan comes home 6th in front of Dale Dondell, Charles Dorrance, Bill Hines, Davis, and Burt Jenner with a mechanical issue. Unfortunately for Jenner, he comes home in 12th spot after winning on Sunday at St. Petersburg back in the month of March. Gordon and Creed, they've done this dance before. Vizo, too. A little show for the fans here on the cool-down lap in Long Beach. And what about Kyle Leduc in the 99? He's three-wheeling it here. Sean, what happened to him here?
It was like Kyle, he thought he was going to get in the wall here, but no, it looks like maybe the studs just broke off, Rick. That's the first opportunity we've had to see that. That's the first time for Stadium Super Trucks. We have not seen that yet this year.
Kyle Leduc had his problems on the weekend as well. Unable to see the finish because the right rear came off. As Robbie Gordon shows the fans how durable the sidewalls are on those Toyo tires. We'll be back to talk to our winner. Our coverage of the Stadium Super Truck Series being brought to you today by Traxxas, the fastest name in remote control. And by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. The fans still standing here at the streets of Long Beach. Sean Cermony, they got their money's worth today.
They sure did. They were 5 deep at the fences all the way around, Rick.
And they watched a great drive to victory by the Venezuelan veteran, E.J. Vizo. He's in victory lane with our Todd Lewis.
There's a winner's smile on the face of E.J. Vizo. Congratulations. A nice victory here at Long Beach to climb and get up to the front and hang on to it.
Thank you. It was definitely very fun. In one of the restarts, I got bumped by Harlan. I really thought I was not gonna make it in that corner, but I actually did. It was a pretty good race. I knew Sheldon was very fast and he was coming after me, but I needed to keep pushing so that wouldn't happen. It was a good day. I'm happy, and on to the next one.
Doesn't look like you've hardly got a mark on your truck. You were managing it pretty well all day.
Yeah, one of the first times I bring the car in such a good shape, and I'm excited. It's all about getting points for the championship, and it's good. It's all about having fun in this category.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
E.J. Vizo, the former IndyCar star, winning for the second time this season. He won one of the opening rounds in Australia, comes back to win round number 6 here on the streets of Long Beach. Creed takes second, 5 seconds back, but he, Gordon, and Steele had a great battle.
They did have a great battle going on there, and Steele, towards the end, he had an opportunity to be up on top of the podium.
Gavin Harlan, one of the stories of the day. He's with Todd.
Gavin, a tough end result for you. You were out front for a good portion of this race, but got to be promising that you can handle these trucks this well in such a short race.
Yeah, that was just a really bittersweet race. It was so much fun, and I couldn't believe that I was out in front for almost half the race, and then after the mandatory, they started getting right up behind me. I got the lead back after I got past, but then with 1 lap to go, I threw it away. I just had to hold my 3rd place position for 1 more lap, but it was still so much fun out there in the lead for a long time, and then ended up fighting for a podium position at the end, and just really happy overall with the weekend.
Were you feeling a little bit of heat from the guys behind you?
Yeah, once I saw them in my rearview mirror, I kind of got a little nervous, especially Robbie Gordon, the legend, battling with him running up behind me. And that was really nerve-wracking. That might have led to me messing it up and making a mistake, but it was still a really good race for me.
Good race indeed. More successes ahead for Gavin Harlan.
Yeah, he'll be a driver to watch as the season continues, Sean Cermony. Our championship now after 6 of 20 rounds. Creed with a 9-point advantage over Gordon.
And E.J. Vizo in the 3rd position. Vizo, he wants to win the championship. A lot of racing ahead of us yet, Rick.
No question, not even to the halfway point of the season. Kincaid 4th in the standings. Been a great weekend here for the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas on the streets of Long Beach. Next up for us, a trip to the Belle Isle, Detroit area, the Detroit Grand Prix. 3 rounds of action. We'll have it for you in a couple of weeks here on the NBC Sports Network. For Sean Cermony, Todd Lewis, I'm Rick Benjamin. We congratulate our winner, E.J. Vizo. Thanks for watching the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. We'll talk to you next time.